Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. Now it's real time, sponsored by the Mill Casino.
Mill Casino. I'll be there soon. Mike, you're going to see me soon. Spin Reel, you're going to see me soon. Mike Surdick, Raymarine. It's great to see you.
Thanks for having me on, Owen.
First things first, I want to throw a thanks out there to Teton, who y'all know, for putting us together.
Yeah.
Right? Super exciting for myself. We had the chance to talk at the Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show for a little bit. You were all in when we had that opportunity to talk. Myself included. I've been a fan of Raymarine for a long time, never had a chance to really be exposed to it. And there's a number of reasons for that. Perception, I think, may have been one of them. Very high-end, offshore, blue water kind of initial thought of Raymarine, which is all good stuff. It just falls down to, was it usable for what I do, right? Turns out it really is, and it might be a little overkill, but I'd rather have overkill than underkill personally.
Absolutely, man.
I mean, how long have you been with Raymarine?
So I've been with Raymarine coming up on 12 years now.
Okay, so you're not a rookie at this. You're not new at it.
Recruited right out of college.
Okay, really? What'd you
Went to University of Idaho, College of Business and Economics, and been fishing and hunting since I was a little kid.
Okay, so you went to Idaho.
That's right.
All right, very cool.
Vandals, baby.
All right, and you're a local guy. You're up in Seattle.
Yep, north of Seattle, Everett, Snohomish area.
And you were just got done spending some time chasing steelhead on some of the rivers up there.
That's right. Yeah, we've been fishing the Sauk and the Skagit, been out to the peninsula, fishing the Hoe and the Sole Duck, and about ready to switch gears to springers here soon.
Now, do you travel down to my neck of the woods?
I do. Cathalamit's where we like to fish for springers.
Okay, very good. All right, very good. I got a question, though, real quick. I know it's off. You've been small rivers, this and that, drift boat. Okay. What kind of electronics are you running in a drift boat?
You know, I don't have electronics on my drift boat. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, that's a total joke. There's no room for that. I mean, you could probably do something with it, I guess.
Yep.
All right. So Raymarine's been around a long time. FLIR has been associated with that for a while now.
Yeah.
Originally local company. But with what you brought in today, this is a brand new setup. Axiom's been around for a while. It's now the Axiom Pro 2.
That's correct.
In my research, and I will admit, I do get a little nerdy when you're talking about electronics.
Same.
I can imagine.
Yep.
This is a very interesting unit. Can you at least just give us an idea of how this, with my viewers that are out there fishing how we fish, will fall into what we want?
Yeah, so, I mean, Axiom was first delivered to the consumer market about 2018, 2019. It had a facelift last year, so the Axiom 2 Pro, we basically just beefed it up, man. We put it, we built on a 6-core processor, so in the computer world, we're lightning fast, right? The Axiom 2 Pro is a hybrid touchscreen and buttons, right? So for the guys that, you know, the unit's going to be getting wet, you're going to get fish guts on it and whatnot. Your hands are always dirty, you know. It's just like using your iPad or your iPhone when it's wet.
It doesn't work great.
Yep. So we put the rotary knobs and the soft keys. We also put some really big sonar on this, right? So on top of our 3D and our real vision and our side vision and our down vision frequencies, we also put the big bad 1 kilowatt sonar in it, right?
Holy. And now, if you're not familiar with what he's referring to, that just means you got horsepower. I mean, like real horsepower. Like overwhelmingly huge horsepower. Speed, accuracy, definition, being able to see in clarity. I know that I mentioned at least at some point in time that you can see this screen, which you guys have patented with your polarized sunglasses on, which you might not think is a big deal, but the amount of technology it takes to do that by itself is pretty significant. So, and that's just a fraction of what you guys have changed with the Axiom. But what we've got displayed here, everyone, that you've been able to see on that Kershaw Tech Cam, this is just the, you know, we are actually out in the ocean right now. But just the display is very interesting. It's not glary.
No, and that's a patent on our screen material called Hydra Tough, right? And so that was a big thing for the Coast Guard, right? So Raymarine's got a SINS 2 Coast Guard contract. They wanted to be able to see these things in any condition. So if you've got one of these mounted outside on the back of your boat, maybe it's in a locker box like we're going to do on your boat, right? Being able to see this thing, whether it's sunny, windy, rainy, polarized sunglasses, right? So you don't have to move your head up and down. That's a big one. And then really the thing's totally customizable. We're built on an Android platform, but we're probably as easy to use as an iOS operating system. So we tell people all the time, you know, when you buy one of these units, most people don't even read the user manual anymore, right? It's all trial and error. You poke buttons until you figure it out. And
that's a really good way to put it.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But yeah, really cool what we're doing these days. You know, the Axiom Pro comes in a 9-inch, a 12-inch, and a 16-inch. We also have an Axiom Plus multifunction display, which is all glass touchscreen. We do a 7, 9, and 12-inch in those units.
Okay. And for the average Northwestern person, either they be in Idaho, Washington, or Oregon here, you are also an avid angler, so you understand what it is that we're doing around here.
Big time.
Is it the Axiom that we would be looking at in that product line?
Yeah, Axiom and Axiom Pro, they both have the exact same user interface. Axiom is all touchscreen, and it does not have the 1 kilowatt in it. The Axiom Pro is really tailored towards, you know, the saltwater angler, the guy that's going to be fishing the Columbia might want to put a 1 kilowatt Airmar transducer on for really putting some power in the water.
Sure.
You know, so that way you don't have to add a separate black box. It's all built in directly
into the unit
That's
itself?
correct. It's built directly into this display.
You wouldn't have to have the extra...
No. It's all built right into the unit here. So really kind of the best configuration we're doing on a lot of these big, you know, heavy gauge aluminum boats, right? The North Rivers and the Duckworths and Kingfishers is we're running kind of a mix and match of transducers. We'll run a RVM 100, which is a Raymarine built transducer, which does of all of our down vision, side vision, 3D real vision, and conical chirp. And then guys will put on like, you know, big Airmar 1 kilowatt, either a high chirp, medium chirp, low chirp, or maybe a mix and match of both.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So for all you tuna folks out there, big boat Columbia folks that are taking their boats offshore, certainly power is a friend. And you mentioned usability.
Oh yeah.
I'm an idiot. Okay, I'll be the first one to admit it. I'll spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, up to $6,000, $7,000 these days on big, high-end electronics, and we get them into our boats. We turn them on, and we go depth.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm as guilty as anybody. Okay, you're overlooking like 90% of what the unit can actually do for you. If you figure out how to use a very inexpensive sometimes unit, you can become much more proficient chasing fish around because you can find them, right? That's a big deal. But when you have that kind of technology wrapped up in here, you're really expanding what you can find, let alone from, again, the Columbia, but the saltwater as well.
Big time. And simplicity is kind of our big deal, right? We want to be the brand that has the fewest button pushes, whether you're adjusting your sonar sensitivity, you're building a course, or, you know, doing a radar overlay. Our user interface allows you to make all those adjustments with one button push, right? You don't get so deep into the system, oh shoot, how do I get back out?
Right.
You know, it's all real time, right? Yeah, it's really an awesome unit. I can't wait for you to see it.
Well, out of all the research that I did, and I did a lot, you know, a lot of it came from down south, a lot of it came from California, certainly some from here in Oregon, no doubt about it. But it was all about what you mentioned, not having to touch so many buttons in order to get to a certain spot. You can go to a user screen, and we're not going to do it yet. We'll do this upcoming segment. But we're going to show you how easy that actually is to get into a relatively large display. This is the 12-inch.
That's right.
So it's big enough to where you can pretty much see everything easily, right? When you pop it up, you'll see the display on there where you're going to go through all your different settings and how to make it what you want to do. So we're going to cut out. When we come back, I want to start there. I want to kind of just show how easy it would be to get started. Say we just got on the water. We're on the Columbia Davis Bar. We're going to go troll the Davis troll, and we want to see and be set up just right for it.
Let's do it.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back with that in just a couple of minutes.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Chevy Silverado and the impressive Turbo Max engine. Flex your muscle with the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Official truck of Outdoor GPS.